The desk was covered in junk.
توقع هالحلف ما راح ادوس هسه. يبوه خلي بس لحظة.
It was an antiquated CCTV system. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording.
يعني قاصة بها الباسكود. اوكي.
I needed to find a 4-digit number.
جيبها حقي جيبها. شبسي دايت فاهي كلش.
I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. I wasn't going to open the safe without the...
بعد وين؟ يعني بجيبه كان كل شيء ما كان كل شيء. زين.
The telephone was an antique rotary model. The handset looked greasy.
انقصي كان التليفون من احكي بيه يطلع بريحه. لو مدهن. شنو هاي غراض؟ هاي حيل شو كل شيء يشيل.
It was the paper that Nico wrote for. Nico lived for the day her story would be on the front cover. It was a reel of fragile tape.
Fragile tape شنو؟
I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it.
ليش حاطين على ايد؟ تضوجونه؟
It was an Erasertron. I loved those. I didn't feel the need to take Henri's eraser.
مشتاق المساحات.
It was liquid ink. I had no idea they still sold this stuff. Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket would have been stupid. The ink would have stained my hands for days.
يلا تشغل شي شغلات على اساس نظيفه.
It was a corroded lighter.
كل شيء كل
The
شيء.
lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. It was a decorative pen, probably a gift to Henri. The pen could have been useful. Then again, it might have leaked all over my pocket.
غني قري. كل شيء يريد ياخذ.
There was a box of thumbtacks on the desk. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. The business card listed the gallery's details. I didn't need a business card.
عاش طلعت هاي دخل فد شي. زين خلينا نفتح
It was a
المجر.
standard drawer.
بس هذا ينفتح.
There was a document folder in the drawer.
فتحها شنو بيه اسرار.
There was nothing else in the drawer. The document folder had a hairy lobsters sticker on it. I had no idea what was inside. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was the security installation note from the company that Henri had used.
شو قلت هذا الشيء موقفك؟
It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit.
صدقوا شركة تأمين.
I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form.
زين المفتاح وينه؟
Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. It was hard to tell if the lava lamp was retro or just plain old. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income.
زين خلينا نشوف هاي.
The completion note from Vera Security. There was an address.
ايه خبر. السلام عليكم.
Hello, Vera Security?
George Stobart here, Paris Mutual.
Never heard of you.
Really? Well, I'm surprised. We're leaders in our field in commercial insurance, and our brand recognition is...
Do me a favor. Don't call back.
The lady hung up. I was gonna
Hi,
have to visit in
lady.
person.
هذا صوت مرة؟ غير وقاحة. مؤدبة. في هسه شو اسوي هسه؟ اطلع يعني هاي؟
I didn't want to go back into the gallery.
شو اسوي يا جورج؟ خلصنا؟ كل شي بعد؟
The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May.
هسه احتاج
Birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day.
احتاج مفتاح افتح بيه القاصة، واحتاج باسورد افتح بيه نظام المراقبة، شريط نظام المراقبة. لحظة جيت عيد
Henri had
ميلاده؟
ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday.
27/5. ميلاده احنا عرفنا ميلاده شو وقت؟ ما نعرف، خلينا نشوف والله. 27/5.
The button was marked rewind. The button had an arrow pointing to the right. I guessed it was some kind of forward button. It was a small keypad. I guessed it was some kind of forward button.
زين. ما اقدر، لازم. ايش قد؟ 27/5.
Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery.
عوالي غلط، الصوت عوالي غلط.
This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen.
شو هسه ها؟ لقطة. Okay, that's your previous match.
That was the earliest shot with anything interesting on it.
Okay, next frame.
Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it.
سالمين، هل مصدق بيه؟ لحظة أقدر أعلق عليها؟
That shot must have been before anyone else arrived at the gallery. Was Henri studying that picture, or did he look worried? There was definitely more to this robbery than I first thought. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture.
achievement.
The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail.
هاي achievements مو بالضرورة أشياء تسوى، كل أشياء يعني تجوز تعبر عليه، لازم يدير بالي.
There I was looking at the exhibition. It seemed that whenever Nico stepped back into my life, so did trouble.
صدق كل ما يلتقون مشكلة تصير.
The most striking the killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The most striking the CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting La Malédiction from the wall. He knew exactly which painting to take. The moment it all went horribly wrong. The most striking... There was some writing on the front of his helmet, but I couldn't quite make it out. Why hadn't Henri backed down when the thief pulled the gun? If that was me, I'd have done whatever the guy wanted.
صح. غريب إنه أنا بوقتها انتبهت، يعني ليش هو
هالشيء؟ The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane or even Henri himself. Or perhaps even Vera Security, who'd installed the system.
زين، ايش رايك؟
The killer making his getaway.
يعني
A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. A logo on...
زين اتوقع اخر مشهد.
The painting was gone.
اهي.
There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious.
عرضك.
That was me, fiddling with the alarm.
اي ابدا ما راح يشكون بيك.
The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. Not my best angle. That was the last shot. I'd probably learned everything I could from the CCTV.
شلون اطلع؟ ها. اوكي هسه عرفنا اسم مكان حتى ما شنو.
I didn't imagine Henri as a musician. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty. I didn't want to go back into the gallery just yet. I might not get another chance to look around.
خلصنا؟ اوكي هسه الباسورد لقيناه، يبقى المفتاح. هو اصلا قال المفتاح اكثر ما مضمون بالمكتب. ترى خبر.
It would have been stupid to phone. Besides, I really didn't want to attract any attention.
صدق شلون نسد الباب ليش؟
I opened the compartment again.
ترى عندك ما خرب حظك.
Now that was a safe. No way I'd be able to pick it.
نحاول. ليش
I
لا؟
wasn't going to open the safe. The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. It looked like Henri had saved the best booze for the back room. There was a crumpled letter in the wastebasket. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company demanding immediate payment. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion stores. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business. But now I knew where he lived.
مزيان. اوكي. يعني عرفنا عنوانه.
Sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
احكي الحقيقة لو كذب عليه. يلا جورج.
I'm just looking for the name of the caterer. That cheese was to die for.
To die for? To kill for.
شنو قصدك ليك؟
I put it to you, Monsieur
Stobart.
George Stobart.
I put it to you that you came here in search of cheese and killed the owner in a fromage-induced frenzy.
Well, no. I'm from Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Time will tell, Monsieur.
Truth will out, Inspector.
Who dares wins, Monsieur Stobart.
He who laughs last laughs loudest, Inspector Nave. The guy was seriously nuts.
May I remind you that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course, but I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
ترى زين والله يخلوني اسالهم. زين خلينا اول شيء نسال على هاي.
Smell this.
If you think you can bribe me with expensive parfum de toilette, monsieur, you are mistaken.
كل شيء شوفه ولا رشوه. مطيع.
Look at these nail clippers.
هاك مقراضة.
Perfect for disabling the alarm. You are sticking your American nose into my little French noose, Monsieur Stobart.
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, huh? Pal?
حلو ياب. لأن أمريكي يقول لي بال. زين.
Do you know anything about a company called Vera Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation.
أبغى سؤال.
You are American,
سؤال.
no?
لا.
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch,
هذا مسلسل يمكن لو فيلم قديم.
Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect.
أنا متهم ليش؟
You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
مو متهم سوري مشبوه به. شو ما يعرف جورج ستوبارت؟ حل 4 قضايا كبرى قبل هذا الجزء.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
يمن مخبل ايه. شو يفتح الباب؟ تخاطر الذهني.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises.
أنا ما أريد أصلا أعرف فرنسي، أريد أحل القضية، ما أثق فيك.
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
ايش لافس شمال
Right
وسطى على بالك. مو وسطى يعني بس الزمن قديم.
2 coffees, please.
ما صافن.
Nice work, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it.
قهوة على الطريقة العربية. كواب صغار.
You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
ويصفنون بس يصفن علي. شو قصدك؟ أول شيء خليه يقدم مشاهدية.
Oh, zut alors! I have nothing used to wear that. Maman told me to watch out for him.
تشرب ورا ما يسأل السؤال كلش عادي. دورك هسه؟
Do you want to borrow these clippers?
Word of advice, George. Never say that on a first date.
The security firm that Henri used was not the one I recommended.
Well, that's understandable. I've been to restaurants that you recommended.
I've got their address. Maybe they can tell me who could have had access to that alarm. Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La maledicción.
Exactly. And I had to find out who did
شو
it.
عرفتي؟
The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too. but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find.
لك حب هالقهوة.
Well, the priest thinks La Maledictio is evil.
Charles, she's just crazy.
Yeah,
والله عندها
you're
شك
probably
فيه
right.
مخبل هم.
But there's something strange going on.
مكلوم خابل.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Josh,
Yeah?
Yes.
it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
Great to see you too, Nico.
ها؟ قريب.
I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life.
هلا هلا بجورج. ها؟ باريس. زين هسه خلصناها ها؟ هسه اما نروح على ذو شركة الحماية. بعد مناطق المفتوحة. شقة نيكو. شقة هنري سوري. يلا خير نروح للشقة مال هنري السابع عشر.
As I approached Henri's apartment, I started to doubt whether coming here so soon after his death was such a great idea.
شو تريد نرجع؟
Paris sure had a lot of similar looking cafes. At the end of the road, I could see the magnificent Bois de Boulogne.
انت بولدي.
That was the street I'd just come from. That was the Tony's Brasserie. Looked expensive. Parisian spring fashion. Reminds me why I love this city. I recognized the name Sasha from the charges listed in Henri's credit card letter. It was the door to Henri's apartment.
راح تطلع مقفولة أكيد. اسمه خامر.
Unsurprisingly, the front door was locked. There was an intercom.
ألو؟ أنا ساكن بالعمارة.
Yes. Who is it?
راسي مفتاحي.
Excuse me, madame. This is George Stobart. Could I talk to you?
George, what?
George Stobart,
Sure.
madame. I'm from the insurance company.
For God's sake, did they have all this? I don't want to buy insurance.
No, I'm not selling, madame. It's about the gallery theft.
Oh, I see. You people move fast, don't you?
تفتح
This isn't a
الباب.
good time. I am so distraught.
Madame, Right. Now, that hadn't achieved much.
يعني ما عاد شنو نسوي؟
I decided not to call her again quite so soon.
إذا ماكو غير نروح على هاي الشركة مال الحماية سوري.
The address led me to a dead-end alley at the end of a deadbeat mall. No wonder I'd never heard of Vera Security.
شنو كان؟
The neon sign buzzed and blinked horribly.
خرب عضك جو كل شيء.
Please don't touch the sign. You'll just make it worse.
فلافل إذا مو.
The stall was a myriad of retro kitsch.
مزح.
Bottle stoppers, keychains, musical cards.
الله يبيع أكيد. شوف لفات هاي.
The guy managed to look busy,
عندي باع.
even though he had no customers.
طيزة.
Hi, I wonder if you can help me. I'm looking for Vera Security.
Yes, of course. It's the shop behind you.
Thank you. The name's George, by the way.
Call me Bassam. And do please forgive me, but I'm in no mood to talk. I have a resounding headache.
Bad migraine, eh?
The worst. The buzzing and flashing from the old sign is killing me. I thought the neon sign had potential until it broke.
Is it your sign?
No, the previous owners. Used to be a restaurant. But this is horrible. Adversely affecting my footfall and giving me a splitting headache.
Okay.
Smell this.
خليك أفضل.
Ooh. At least it's the real thing.
شنو يعني؟
Do you have any use for nail clippers?
No.
إيش بيها أصلي بيها مزيف يعني؟
Bassam had already told me where Vera's security was.
بسام قد ما يكون شدة بالإنجليزي. بسام.
You want me to try fixing that sign for you?
Do you know what you're doing?
I'm very good at fixing things.
جورج
Then please do. I'm no good at electricals. Marketing analysis and predicting trends is more my thing.
زي ليش؟ راح أصلح لي إياه. هيك حبيته يعني؟ يلا قلبنا نفوت.
I took a good look at the sign. The wiring was exposed and the cover broken. No wonder it was flashing.
ماشي. يبو. ماشي. لا رجعها. شنو هاللغز هذا؟
It was a loose wire. No wonder the sign was flashing. I pulled the wire off. Well, that was one way to stop the letters flashing. Now only half the sign was illuminated.
يلا هو شنو المشكلة؟ هو أهم شيء إنه راس يرجع من ورا يعني إنه قاعد ترمش.
A small piece of wire.
زين هسه خليها اروح اسوي شيء على الشركة مال الحماية هسه مو كنت هاي.
Help!
What's wrong?
صرصر.
There's a monster
What? Where?
on the floor. Get rid of it.
Oh, the cockroach.
Yes, the cockroach. Help!
ايه هذا ابو بريص. ابو بريص.
The reason for the lady's distress was plain. A giant cockroach roamed the floor. Come here, little fella.
كشونه.
There were crumbs on the floor. No wonder the cockroach was sticking around. I think cockroaches are kind of cute.
ها؟
But only kind of.
شنو؟ أول مرة أسمع واحد يقول على صرصر كيوت.
I was never going to catch it with my bare hands.
لا هم عايزة. يعني هو بالنسبة لنا ما يلحق بيه مو اللي أنت عم نفسه. زين. وين العمان نفس؟ شنو؟ ليش ما يحكي؟
Even the plant looked depressed. The office looked like it had been put together in a hurry.
ايش ما ادري صدق شو غير مكتب مرعبات. شكله عربي. سوري عبالة. زين. بس شوف شنو.
It was a small table with an ashtray on it. Unusual these days.
شو عباك تلعب يا بطء ما ادري يستجيب رأسا.
A crumpled cigarette pack. The ashtray was full of cigarette butts. The filters were gold-colored. Very exotic. Romanovs, a Russian brand cigarette. The pack was empty. A crumpled cigarette pack. A full matchbox.
هاي دائما بالافلام بالمسلسلات لا يعني يحلون جريمه عن طريق
As a child, I'd always been told not to play with matches, but I never could resist.
دائما الاسم مكتوب عليه اسم
I
المكان.
tipped out the matches. An empty matchbox.